नमस्ते प्रणाम गीता ध्यानम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 16th Adhyaya of Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, and Sri Krishna is explaining to us beautifully the evil ways of leading the life by these people who are of the demonic tendency, who are of the Asura type, who can never get onto the path of liberation and who only know about sense gratification, how to enjoy this the sense pleasures. That is only their intent of leading this life. Sri Krishna told us in the last 10th shloka that we read that these people, they are constantly imbibed in satisfying those insatiable desires. Kama shritya dushpuram, dushpuram kama. The desires which can never be satisfied, they get indulged in fulfilling those desires. Ashritya kama dushpuram, dushpuram kama. Then how they behave, since their entire focus is only to indulge in sense gratification of fulfilling these insatiable desires which can never be fulfilled, the desires, the lust which can never be fulfilled. These people with dambha manam madanvitaha, filled with dambha, filled with hypocrisy, filled with pride, the self gratification, self indulgence for that matter, the dambha of hypocrisy, mana, pride, and mother, that arrogance, that high-headedness that comes to them. These people are filled with that, and their only focus is to indulge into the sense pleasures. Mohat gruhitva asadgrahan. Mohat gruhitva asadgrahan pravartante ashuchivrataha. And this is the type of the evil ways that, having deluded, they don't have a clear vision actually. These the demonical type of personalities, they don't have a clear vision. They have nothing but misconceptions. They are always deluded. Mohat gruhitva, having held to that, having come under that spell of delusion, what they do? Asadgrahan. They cultivate evil ideas. They cultivate the wretched ideas. Pravartante ashuchivrataha. And their entire act, their entire behavior is filled with impurity, filled with impurity, with the impure resolve. They are always busy in performing some tasks for the sense gratification, for fulfilling those desires which can never be fulfilled. Under that, under the influence of that pride and arrogance and hypocrisy, they are always into the acts which are so detrimental for the spiritual progress. They don't know anything about spirituality. So that is what Sri Krishna told us in the 10th shloka about these type of people, that filled with insatiable desires, their entire attention focus is to somehow see to it that we fulfill the desires, but which can never be fulfilled. Full of hypocrisy, pride and arrogance, holding evil ideas through delusion, they work with impure resolve. There is no element of purity associated with the acts that these people they do. There is no purity, there is no morality, there is no ethics, there is no good thought for others for whatever they are doing. So in the 11th shloka, again Sri Krishna tells the same thing about such type of people, how they behave, how is their behavior, how they behave in their lives. cintāmaparimeyāṃ ca pralayāntāmupāśritāḥ kāmopabhogaparamā etāvaditi niścitāḥ. That is all these people they are up to. cintāmaparimeyāṃ. Cintam, anxieties, worries, they're always worried. When will I fulfill that desire? That is their only kind of thought. That is the only thing that they care for. When will I fulfill my desire? And that desire is absolutely impure. That desire has got no purity attached to it. So, cintam aparimeyāṃ, unmeasurable, aparimeyāṃ, inexhaustible for that matter. The number of desires, they can never be, they can never complete. You can never say, okay, today I will fulfill my 10 desires. That after completion of 10 desires, is it that they give a full stop? No. These are aparimeyāṃ. These are immeasurable desires. They are so many, one after the other. They fulfill one desire. They get into, pain and suffering and misery, but they are not worried. They immediately jump over to another. So desire after desire, all they care for is somehow to fulfill these immeasurable desires. cintāmaparimeyāṃ ca pralayāntāmupāśritāḥ. Pralayāntam, ending only with death. Their enjoyment of desires, that anxiety, that the greed, that lust will get over only once they shed the body. Till death, even in the mouth of death, they will keep on thinking only of those unfulfilled desires. And like Sri Krishna had told us, that the thought which is uppermost at the time of death, you get into the next birth with the same thought, from the same stage you progress onwards. So when you have the thought of unfulfilled desire at the time of death, only death can stop those desire fulfillment, desire for fulfilling. That can stop only at the point of death. But then it doesn't stop there also, because the next birth, it is again waiting. It is that the carry forward effect of that unfulfilled desire, it starts again in the next birth. So in this body, it may end at the time of death, but it will continue in the next birth again. Now, pralayāntāmupāśritāḥ. These desires, so-called in the present body, they will come to an end only at the time of death. kāmopabhogaparamā. kāmopabhogaparamā, regarding gratification of lust as their highest aim. That is their highest aim. That their aim is not what is the highest aim otherwise? For a devotee, the highest aim is to merge with the Paramatman. That is the highest aim. But for these people, the highest aim is nothing but fulfillment of desires and the lust. kāmopabhogaparamā. etāvaditi niścitāḥ. That is all they feel sure about. They are so very clear about it. They say nothing doing, I am going to fulfill. The sense gratification, the fulfillment of my lustful desires, that is the ultimate goal for these people. So Sri Krishna now tells, look, this is what happens if anyone starts picking up the asuri habits, anyone starts picking up the demonical traits. Their entire focus is only on fulfilling the lustful desires which are never ending, which will end only at the time of death of that particular body. That's it. So it is a very dangerous situation. For that matter, Sri Krishna is making us aware. Beset with immense anxieties, ending only with death, regarding gratification of lust as the highest aim, and feeling sure that that is all. So these are the people, they are so convinced. They are as if brainwashed by that maya, brainwashed by that delusive power of the Lord, that they think that is the only aim for me to live in this life. Most unfortunate scenario for that matter. Now, Sri Ramakrishna gives again a beautiful advice on this. Sri Ramakrishna says, the earthbound people do not learn a lesson even when overcome with acute pain, disappointments, failures, and misfortunes in life. This is what happens. Any kind of sense gratification is never going to get pleasure, happiness, joy to anyone. It always gives, any sense gratification brings with it the unfortunate reality of misery, sorrow, pain, but still there is no, these pains and miseries, they don't act as eye-openers. No, in fact, for the people of demonical tendency, they counteract. Instead of becoming eye-opener and leading the path of morality, leading the path of holiness, they just close down their eyes. Nothing, I am wonderful. So what if there is pain? So what if I am in grief? So what if I am facing sorrow? But I need to fulfill my lust. That is their entire objective. The earthbound people do not learn a lesson even when overcome with acute pain, disappointments, failures, and misfortunes in life. They are like the camels which go on biting off thorny shrubs, unmindful of bleeding caused to their lips. The camel in desert, he will keep on munching those thorny bushes. Now what happens in reality? That the entire mouth and lips and tongue is getting hurt. It is bleeding. But camel is unconcerned about it. Camel keeps on biting those thorns. His mouth is bleeding. The lips are bleeding. The tongue is bleeding. So Sri Krishna says that is the condition of these kind of the demonic tendency people who are nothing but earthly bound. They are so much bound with this material life, enjoying these material pleasures, enjoying these sense pleasures. They get pain and miseries and sorrows and griefs in the process. But like camel eating that thorny bush, the mouth is bleeding, but camel will continue eating those thorns, those thorny bushes. A dearly loved wife dies or deserts. The man forgets all about it and remarries. Now if somebody's wife runs away, what happens? Having undergone that pain or misery, he doesn't feel that, okay, now enough is enough. If wife dies or if wife runs away, then he again remarries. Sri Ramakrishna says that the life of such people is like this. They won't learn the lesson. They won't use these experiences as an eye-opener. The sudden passing away of a beloved child brings in desolation, but in a few days he brushes it aside and gets absorbed in life. That is what happens with the worldly people. The mother weeps and wails over the death of her baby. The next moment she is busy arranging her jewels and costly clothing. So people, they tend to forget these miseries. They tend to overlook these griefs and sorrows, and once again jump into the materialistic way of living. They don't even think about the Lord. They don't think about the Divine Mother who is protecting them all through, who is taking care of them all through, who is the ultimate abode, who is the ultimate shelter. They will never think about those things. The parents are driven into penury because of the marriages of 2 or 3 daughters. Still, begetting continues as usual. This is the typical ways of the worldly life that used to be at the time during those days. Now, of course, the tendency of the number of children getting born in a family is considerably lower, no doubt about it. But still, Sri Ramakrishna says this is how the worldly people, they tend to forget their miseries and misfortunes, and again they are back to the square one as if. In litigation, the property is drained away, but on that ground, further litigation does not stop. So these are all the examples, the practical examples in the life of the worldly people. We have lost, suppose somebody loses one legal suit about the property. What happens? A few days that fellow will remain quiet. After that, again, that person is ready for another litigation. So look, they never learn. They never learn from the experiences that they receive while fulfilling their worldly desires, for that matter. They never learn the lessons. Though there is no wherewithal to maintain the existing brood of children, new additions do not fail to come in year after year. How strange. That is what Sri Ramakrishna says. Strange are the ways of these worldly people. They just don't learn from their mistakes. They just don't learn from the experiences which they keep on receiving in negatives. They keep on each and every experience of enjoying a material thing ends up in trouble. But the people are so stubborn. They are so rigid in enjoying those material pleasures that they will not pay any heed to those kind of misfortunes that fall upon them, those kind of miseries they get into, those kind of sorrows that they have to face, those kind of pain they land up into. They are only worried about the fulfillment of the desires, and that worry, that anxiety, that temptation of enjoyment, it ends only with the death. Nothing can control them. Nothing can stop that temptation to fulfill those desires for these kind of people. So that is Sri Krishna's teaching about the way these Asuri type, the people with the tendency of demonical traits, they behave actually in the life just for the fulfillment of their sensual desires, for the self-gratification. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.